Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the YouTube account and we're going to be looking at the Ghoulish gallery. Now, thanks to Rockaday and Arkman, they have really been breaking down with a lot of very solid guides with the Ghoulish gallery. Really breaks down what collection you're looking for, how you're building the collection, what tomes you're using, everything in the entirety. And for this one, we are going to be looking at the spell bondage, or this is the Daimon collection. Now, overall, when these were originally released, you did have to have the hero in question, but I want to break this down and I want to break down the guide, show you kind of the entirety of it, and then I want to run through here. Now, this is also the North Zone. The North Zone, it has still a lot of utility. A lot of the collections are still being used in here. We don't know exactly when or how the South Zone is going to replace a lot of these, but overall, this is one that is still being used. So let's hop over. We'll take a look at this one, and this is from Rockaday. So looking right here, Rockaday and Arkman, the collection roadmap. So let's zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to kind of break this down. So looking over here, you can see the 1-star is bad, the 2-star is very good, and the 3-star is good. Now, there is only one very unique situation that we'll look at, that good 3-star that we have right there. So we'll take a look at that. Now, looking at here, no level 1 or no +1 level every 10 seconds steals 10% of max HP, converting it into a shield. This is bad if you have the baseline. If you have just the baseline collection in here, you need to get it higher, at least to this +2, which is very good because the level 2 effect, excellent debuffer, even though it has a 50% uptime. The level 2 run is minimum that you should be looking when attempting to run this collection. So that means we are going to be using the level up totem that is in there and the Miracle Worker. Now, both of those in conjunction does open up that 3rd slot when you're building these out. And again, we'll look at the heroes, we'll look at the totem builds, we will look at everything else in its entirety when you're going through here. Now, also looking at this level 3, when the shield is not activated, again, the user's attack and defense rating are lost by the target, and not the 20% buff according to the users, it's according to the target's value. So it is a little bit different than what you think. The effect sounds really good on paper, but unfortunately, few tanks really benefit. And honestly, there's probably one, which is the awakened version of Lucius, that really does benefit. So where do we use this collection? I love how they break this down. It is amazing. So Cursed Realm, the level 2 is excellent to debuff enemies, even though it is a single target debuff. And then looking at Nightmare Corridor, this isn't used much in the Nightmare Corridor because it is about burst. Now, when it look at Treasure Scramble, it's probably the worst mode for spell bondage. Again, waiting 10 seconds is simply too long for a fragile shield. So again, Cursed Realm is the place that you're going to be seeing this. And really the only way, which kind of, for me, takes it down 1 or 2 notches within the priority of building out all of these collections. And this collection is very level heavy. Therefore, it's mandatory to run Miracle Worker and level up based on any meaningful results, depending on your needs for the tank totem, defense totem, full attack, which again, we'll look at. So who am I looking to use this on? This is the tier, this is the must-haves. So if you're a player that questions and kind of wonders what we're running this for, who we're running this for, what totem should I use in here, these guides are it. This is showing you exactly what to do, exactly how to build this. So looking at the must-haves, this again is that Miracle Worker plus the level up. And then there is another one in here, which I believe this is the one that allows or really boosts up the attack and the defense. Now in here, getting the level 3 is ideal. Ideal number of mythics, 2 to 3. Basically, Lucius. That is right. He is the only one that is kind of running this collection. This is the Awakened Lucius collection. As long as Lucius is meta in Cursed Realm, which we're still seeing, the SP allows him to turn defense into attack, which is huge. Level 2 for this with 4x defense, or level 1 or those collection with 5 defense are very viable with different setups. You want to run defense in here all the time. He is not really super focused on the attack. It is the defense that makes a really big difference in here. Looking at the tier 2 or the mid to high tier, this is a lot of the rest of the viability tanks. When you start looking at, we have Aethys in here, we have Naruko, we have Hodgkin in here, we have Shamira, and we have Thorin. Again, thinking bigger picture, not a ton of tanks are being used in a lot of different content. We are seeing the support classification kind of stacked and the damage dealers when it comes to warriors and when it comes to rangers for a majority of these. Now you'll notice we still do have the Miracle Worker and we still do have the level up. This is about insight. This is about the crowd control ability and thinking of all 3 of these heavy CC heroes. This is the crowd control. So this is the insight collection. That is what you're looking to get. Having more uptime to set up the crowd control, also very fragile early on. However, heroes with very little resilience, such as Aethys, might be better to not need the additional time to set up. Very, very big when it comes to crowd control. And then in here is the full attack. Supporters that are provided by your allies. The full attack and the level 2 will provide an additional single target debuff. This is best in slot onto supports where Orthos collections are not required. Now remember, when it comes to this one specifically, if you're buffing up the full attack, even thinking of these heroes, if you're running Aethys for crowd control, you have the ability to really buff up the attack of support heroes, even your primary damage dealer, because the full attack is going to be used for everyone within the formations. And then tier 3 right here, you can see this is still a level 2 collection, which is kind of niche. HP based tanks. Now, there only are 3 of them. Again, the viability of Chimera, Thorin, and you can see in there Chad, or Vithiel, better known as, but don't need the level 3 again. It doesn't scale with attack nor defense. You want to add additional attack and defense debuffs in there, which again is kind of the later case in here, based on the build, based on what you're looking for. Not a lot of heroes, not a lot of utility when it comes to this build out of this collection itself. And I honestly think that even some of those Inoki's pulled together, or Inoki's new collection, which of course is over in the south, might replace it in some of the formations. I know we have seen this one that has already been kind of worked into the awakened version of Chimera, which makes me kind of wonder, almost the same building, thinking about an HP based tank might make a big difference to build this out. We've also seen a couple whales that have run this collection, but don't know again at this point if it's going to be in really the viability in there of running the spell bondage itself. Me personally, I have a couple iterations, or I have a couple collections of this. So I'm going to hop over, and you know what? I'm going to run one collection in here. You can see we do kind of have the reset in here. Let's pick up at least one of those. There we go. And I'm going to focus on and build out, if you remember from the collections, that version of the awakened version of Chimera. So again, I want to look at building out HP. So we're actually going to use a very specific collection in here to build this out, and building it out just the same. Now, a lot of players have also said, looking at the Inoki collection, having the level 3 is not really a big requirement, but I'm still going to use the Miracle Worker in here. And we are also going to use a level up, because we do have a couple of those. Now in here, thinking about this, we could go a couple different ways with this one. Ideally, we would want to use Final Descent. Again, attack, health, and defense. That we could go ahead and focus on, but thinking of some of these, Erosion Buffer, don't really want, but the tank collections could make a big difference in here with building out the third one. I'm thinking about this tank collection. I'm going to go ahead and drop that one, and we're going to run this. Now, we have not run any at all for Inoki, so let's see what exactly this looks like if we can get a level 2, possibly looking at a level 3. Now, we are been and really focusing on running this all the time. So there we go. We got a couple defenses. We got some attack. So first one, pretty good with some legendary, even got some full attack in there. So let's see. So double defense, you know what? Again, thinking take-wise, thinking of the ability. Since we don't have any of the HP, I'm going to build out a full attack. Hopefully being able to buff other heroes within here with the Horn of Dominion. There is a full buffer and some more erosion, some insight. So discarding all of our lower level abilities. You know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do this one because I want to see HP. That's what we're looking to build in here. We got some HP. We got some full attack. We got some defense. All right, so pretty good build. There's another HP. So if we do get another swap, which we get right there, guys, I'm going to go full attack. Full erosion is not going to make a difference in here. Let's swap for this HP, which is going to give us, again, we're focusing and really trying to get full attack HP on here, as well as that level up. So we got some more Magic Pierce. Now, Forge Ritual, this, I want to go for that HP. Again, building this up. We can get lucky. I still have never seen the 30% build in here, which it is. We got it. We got the HP. That is the first time I've seen the 30% actually work out in here. So that is really cool to see. And that's it, guys. A really quick run through there. Only gave us one level, but you know what? I am okay with building this up to level 2 because unfortunately we didn't get anything else. We got a full defense in there. So that's actually pretty good. Now remember, with the skill level, you can only, and it kind of stinks because you can only get it when you use a conjunction of a couple different things. Now, we do have a card in here. I'm going to use this for HP as well. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to pick up another HP. This is going to be crazy when it comes to the ability to again, really have that defense. Full defense, I'm going to go ahead and build that one on there as well. In here, now Chimera is Magical Pierce, so this is kind of an interesting one. I'm going to build this specifically for her. And then thinking about the full attack, I wish I had, and I do have one right there. See, Erosion, I feel like isn't going to make a big difference. Neither is Proficiency. Let's go ahead and drop another full attack on here just to kind of buff it up a little bit further. And I'm thinking that's a pretty decent collection overall. So let's go ahead, let's etch this. Boom, there we go. So that does give us the +1 skill after it begins. Holder will use Battle Crown to resounds an extra time every 15 seconds. Could have got lucky with some more or another skill level in there, but that's okay because this is the first, and this is honestly the only one that we have in here that we've built out. Now, like I said earlier, there are a couple players that I've seen running that one. That's the reason I wanted to. We're going to have to see exactly where Daimon's collection is being used. But like I had said earlier, I do have a couple of those collections already built out. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.